Ah yes, yo chicken bros, what's up? It's your boy Smiley here coming at you with a brand new video. And today I'm going to talk to you guys about the painting vandalists. Because I am starting to get aggravated with them. Basically what they're doing is throwing tomato soup, mashed potatoes onto paintings and then gluing their hands to the wall. Or doing some other form of vandalism. So I'm going to go ahead and give you guys a bit of a laydown and show you a few videos. And with all that being said though, let's get into today's video.
What is worth more? Art or life? Is it worth more than food? Worth more than justice? Are you more concerned about the protection of a painting or the protection of our planet and people? The cost of living crisis is part of the cost of oil crisis. Fuel is unaffordable to millions of cold, hungry families.
Now I want to take aside the fact that she just splattered tomato soup all over a Vincent van Gogh painting. Because, well, he actually is one of my favorite artists. And so you kind of get one reason why I got raised in the aggravation level. But let me go to her statements first, before I go into why this aggravates me as much as it does. Yes, we have a problem with living. What is your proposed solution? Throwing tomato soup on paintings? That's not doing anything. And yes, we hear you, but we don't know what your answer is. We don't know what your answer is. How about, instead of throwing stuff on $1 million paintings that some guy made hundreds of years ago, and by some guy, it could have been anybody. This was Van Gogh, one of my personal favorite artists, that you vandalized and could have damaged that painting. And when you say gas prices, definitely, that was a huge problem. That still is a huge problem. But guess what? America has been not drilling for oil. And that's why prices have been going up. We have the ability to drill right now. We have that ability. We just won't do it. If we do that, it will be much cheaper, because then we ain't got to worry about importing, exporting, and we have our own supply. But let me continue for a moment here. On your points. I get the feeling that it's sad there are cold and hungry people out there. I get that. But why on earth would you waste food on a painting? Explain that to me. Where is your logic here? You're mad about the cold, hungry families. Make a food drive. I mean, heck, I would make a food drive if I was worried about that, and I am. I just don't have the ability to make the food drive. You're clearly part of some organization. Stop making these childish public situations displeasing bullcrap and start doing something. Go out and make a food drive. Go out and help those in need instead of wasting the damn food on a painting. Now, before I go and blow up, I should probably mention a bit of background on Vincent van Gogh and why he is one of my favorite artists. He was a very poor man whose art of his time was completely worthless. Nobody liked him. Nobody wanted his art. Okay? Well, this man painted because he loved to do it. He painted because it was something he loved to do. That right there was hours of passion and drive that he had to make that painting, knowing dang well he wouldn't sell it for a shilling. Knowing darn well nobody wanted it. But he did it because he liked it. And you just did the equivalent of spitting on this man. Because that is something that was very prized to him. I won't speak anything in his mouth. He is obviously long gone. But you can assume if he decided to live a life that was not of popularity, that was not of rich and wealth, but still decided to go through with it, that he really loved what he did. And I look up to that. I aspire to that. What I do to this day is stuff that I genuinely love to do. And it hurts me to see that form of destruction on a painting that was made by someone who had so much care for it, who genuinely loved that art. And what is more important, art or the world? Obviously the world. Obviously. But I didn't bring art into this conversation. You did. You're the one throwing freaking soup all over a painting. Why? Like, it all comes back to the same question. Why? Why did activism becomes this? Please explain this to me. Because you're not doing anything. How about you do this, okay? If you're worried about the climate crisis, which I will not deny exists, there is a climate, how about you start making a charity to funnel research into finding a new fuel source or creating an alternate fuel source? How about you go out and make food drives for the hungry and needy? How's about you do any of that instead of wasting your time gluing your hand to a wall and throwing paint on a priceless artifact? I already know somebody in the comments is going to be like, "Oh, Smile, I thought you liked Vincent van Gogh. You should know that that painting isn't in America." You're right, it isn't in America. But if America starts drilling for oil, we can sell it to other places, building bonds with more countries if need be, in the current crisis we have ourselves in. Do you realize that? Just think for a moment. Under the current administration, we have had nothing but oil rigs shutting down, refineries shutting down. And because of that, we are in a crisis. Because of that, we don't have the oil to continue to thrive. And if you are mad that it's causing CO2, again, that's a good concern. I'm not telling you you're wrong. I'm telling you you're going about fixing the problem wrong. Instead of trying to fix it by making public outrage and telling people to just stop using it, make an alternate source. There has been research into making alternate fuel sources, but they're never giving government funding, which is something I think would be pretty okay with me. I don't know how everybody else would feel about that. But if you put funding into making an alternate fuel source that is not CO2 emittive, then I think we would all be pretty happy with that. Or you can make a charity to funnel money into it. Boom! Activism is now active again. Not just public outrage, not just following in PETA's footsteps. I'm getting tired of seeing this. And no, it's not just because this painting is by Van Gogh. It's because of the arguments being made not having the things to back it up. Because if you were at a debate stage saying all of those things, I would understand you. I would even agree with you. I would say, alright, yeah, these are valid problems. How do we fix them? But at that state that you are in, I'm going to think you're a freaking idiot. So maybe rethink your strategy. With all that being said, Yo Man Smile is over and out. Peace.